Hi Helen, it's lovely to chat to you today. Thank you for speaking with me.
Hello, lovely to see you. Thanks for asking me along.
You're very welcome. So Helen is from Prior Pursclove College, and we're going to talk a little bit about how we work together and how Helen got involved with Growing in Harmony. So first of all, Helen, would you like to tell us a little bit about your role at Prior Pursclove College and the students that you work with?
Yes, so I've been working at Prior Pursclove College for three and a bit years now, and my role there is as tutor in a faculty called Endeavour. And in Endeavour we cater for two main groups of students. We work with young adults with additional needs, so 18 to 25-year-olds with EHCPs, and we also have an adult provision, so we do outreach work in the community, teaching adults who are looking to get back into training and employment. So we really provide quite a bespoke package really for young people, and we tailor it. And that's my role at Prior, in a nutshell, and I love it.
That sounds brilliant. So how did you come to be involved with Sharon and Francis at Growing in Harmony?
I needed somewhere that was safe, that was relaxed, that understood students with complex needs, somewhere where they could take a bit of ownership and thrive. And I have a personal love of gardening, and I know the mental health benefits of being outside, and I wanted somewhere for the students to be safe, but to be challenged and also to take some ownership of it. So I started 2 years ago with what we call pre-supported internship group, who went along on a Thursday afternoon. And they just absolutely loved it for all sorts of different reasons, whether it was the animals, whether it was helping with the guinea pigs and the rabbits and so on, whether it was they kind of claimed a polytunnel, or digging the raised beds, harvesting the potatoes, whatever was needed. And in the end, I was their volunteer. It was wonderful. So I said, look, I'm here to be, to help. And Sharon and Francis responded to what I needed, which was some structure in terms of them appearing to be the boss, giving them. So we had a task sheet each week. Sharon and Francis would write up what's been completed, what needed doing. We would have a health and safety meeting when we arrived. And that was exactly what I needed to fulfill my qualification sort of specification. They needed direction from employers, effectively. They needed to understand the concept of what it meant to volunteer. Parallel with that, we built in quite a lot of work to do with supporting their mental health and their social skills. So we did wreath making. We had an afternoon of scarecrow making that was just absolutely hilarious. It was just brilliant. Piles of clothes and dressing various things from deep sea divers in wetsuits to there was a plastic model that they'd got from upcycled from some shop. So we were putting bracelets and necklaces, and the laughter, you could hear us for miles. It was wonderful. So it's been really flexible, which is what I needed to be able to deliver an exciting content for my students. And I hope for Sharon and Francis, they described them as a breath of fresh air. They loved them coming. I think the biggest thing they got out of it was the feeling of being valued. Sharon and Francis, within 20 minutes, knew all their names. I'd done a pre-visit, we'd done a risk assessment and everything, and I'd talked briefly about individual needs and individual little characteristics, just so that nothing was a surprise. And Francis and Sharon both they knew their names, they identified with their needs, they found within a week projects that were appropriate.
I was just wondering, are you able to share any specific success stories? I know you won't be able to say names or anything, but can you talk about?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a few. Yeah, one young man sort of lacked quite a bit of confidence, and he had a speech impediment, so he often found speaking to new people quite sort of difficult, made him a bit nervous, and he just took to it. What a grafter. And Francis spotted that he had potential and had a vision and had an idea of what he wanted to do, allocated him a polytunnel, and this young man is he actually found the confidence to go in with Francis. The two of them, they did like an assessment of what the jobs were needed to be done, what the plan was for the planting, what repairs needed to be done because there was a small tear at the back, that kind of thing. Came back to the group, told us and took us on a tour of what he thought needed doing. So they were his, and then he directed us, gave us all the jobs and saw the job was done, and was so proud of himself that he'd led that project. So that was a real, and he used to find me midweek saying, oh, I've got some new boots, I've got a new, and he had all the waterproof gear that he'd really remembered, and the trips were exciting. We have a lovely student at Prior who came along with the first group to Growing in Harmony, and she's very quietly determined, cracked on with the jobs, got involved in the ideas, and she was absolutely brilliant. And then about a month in, Sharon rang me and said that this young lady's been in touch and wants to do some extra volunteering on a Monday. I was absolutely delighted, brilliant, taken the initiative, felt encouraged, felt valued. And ever since then has been coming along to Growing in Harmony in her own time to do extra volunteering, to help Sharon, to help Francis. And I believe, I've seen her on some of the videos on Facebook and the social media planting, but I've had a chat with her and she's absolutely loving it. So that's been one big success story, seeing somebody who can be very, quiet and she'll kill me for saying, but, can lack a bit of confidence at times, just to feel that value and feel that she's able to do that without me putting a good word in or me getting the ball rolling, was really, really a big success story about the way Growing in Harmony nurtures individuals. And so she's had encouragement while she's been away from the teachers and the adults. So that's absolutely excellent.
Are there any final thoughts that you would like to share before we finish?
I just think Sharon and Francis just lead it with their hearts. My final thought is just that they're very special people who value other people and value difference and value what they can bring. Very relaxed, I would say, with purpose though. There is a sense that if you come in, we're not sitting around just we'll have a coffee and a chat, but we need to get on. So a real drive, but not intimidating. They've just got the balance right.
Thank you very much for talking to me. It's been a pleasure.
Oh no, thank you. It's been really nice to talk about it. It's reminded me that I think even it's affected me so much that once I retire, if I ever get to retire, I would volunteer there myself. It's a sort of thing where I think I'd, on a personal level, take a lot from the concept of the Growing in Harmony model. I think it's brilliant. Yeah. And long may it continue.
Yeah, I hope so.